We're using a 5-inch therapy ball as well as a 3-inch therapy ball. Specifically, this is the trigger point therapy massage ball, and this is the yoga tune-up alpha ball. When approaching a new program as far as release work goes, you want to start with a bigger ball with a bigger base. We want to discover what we need and what we don't need. So, using this base will give me a better idea while being kind to my fascia and my nervous system. So I'm going to start with this ball on the wall. With their lower back is I'm going to get right above that hip. So I say, okay, here's my hip bone. So this back here is still very much my hip, but it's where my lower back muscles are starting to work. So I'm going to go ahead and roll from side to side, right across. So from hip to hip, hip to hip. I'm just kind of rocking, rotating the whole body from side to side. Now I'm feeling like I need a little bit more in there, so I'm going to go ahead and do some circles. Mind you, I'm not on my spine. I'm getting into that circular motion right above the hip. Then I'm going to work it down a little bit more where I'm right on the hip. And then I'm going to work it down a little bit more where I'm on my glute. So we see that progression where we go from side to side. This feels awesome. It's kind of like when you have your knees in your chest and you're rocking side to side on the mat. It's that pressure that you feel in your sacrum and in your pelvis. This is kind of a similar sensation, and it kind of just feels good. But then we get more serious and more focused on just one area, and we start back, hip, glute. So go ahead and bend the knees. Find that spot, and I'm going to go ahead and roll up and down on that lower back into the mid back. And you'll find that you can probably reach this area with a foam roller, but to get a little bit deeper and a little bit more of a trigger point release, we want to go ahead and use this ball. So first use the roller, see if that's enough, then progress onto this 5-inch ball when you are ready. Now after you've done a lot of that up and down, side to side, exploring into this oblique, we want to get into that side of our hip as well. So what I'm doing is I'm working my way from the lower back to the oblique to right above the hip. And I'm kind of just going back and forth. So right here I'm getting into my glute now, the top of my glute. And I'm feeling that tension that is right here at the top of my glute, working my way into my hip. So what you'll do is you'll rock back and forth, you'll do some circles, and you'll find what area is needing more love. So after I've done that, I want to go ahead and work my way more into my glute. So I'm going to bring it down even more. And again, I am rolling it out, making sure I'm going in each direction. Don't go in one direction the whole time. You want to switch it up and cover all your bases. So I've worked my upper glute already, working into that lower to the max, gluteus maximus, and now even a little bit lower. So to get a little bit lower, I'm going to lean forward a little bit more and be able to access that under butt. So the lowermost point of your glute, where we're getting into that meetup point with our hamstring. So I'm going to lean forward a little bit more so I can get a little bit deeper, a little bit lower, and rocking it all out. So essentially you just want to roll around and see what's up. So what I want to do is I want to really focus on the side of my hip. So I'm going to get right into that hip bone and just rock from side to the medial glute, side and over. So just rotating my body back and forth to get into that hip. Now right here, I'm going to go ahead and do a knee raise. Knee, knee, knee. Do about 5 to 6 passes and then roll it again from side to side. So if you've been working with the 5-inch ball for a while, you can go ahead and move on to this 3-inch ball. And what you would do is just get in there the same exact way. Make sure that you have done the work with this 5 and you found, okay, I can get a little bit deeper or I need a little bit more. that's when you go ahead and move on to this 3-inch ball. Now, to get onto the floor, I'm going to go ahead and come onto my belly, placing this ball right in that grove of my hip, so getting into that hip flexor. I'm going to cradle my head, and I'm going to rock from left to right, so kind of just like a general booty wiggle. Do a little dance, get a little hip love, and stretch tonight. So, digging in deep. I know it seems silly, but you know, this is what you gotta do. And once you get to that spot, I'm gonna go ahead and pull my heel into my bum and extend. So let's do that breathing. Inhale here, exhale, inhale down, exhale, pull, inhale down. So I'm using my 3-inch ball here. After about 5 or 6 passes, I'm going to roll side to side again. Now, I'm going to move on to releasing my glute a little bit deeper on the floor. So now I'm going to take my 5-inch ball and take a seat on it. So I want to get it on my right glute. I'm going to put my feet far apart, and I'm going to roll it around. Roll it around. So this is a much greater, deeper release. So if you are finding that this is too much, just keep it at the wall for a bit, or roll out your glute with a foam roller, which I will also be more than happy to show you as well. So I'm going to go ahead and keep moving it around. Keep figuring out what I need. So right here, I'm really at that base of my glute that I couldn't reach on the wall. And I'm getting right in there. And then getting up into my hip a little bit more as well. So again, you get to choose which release approach is better for you. Good. And now you're ready to do some stretches. So to review, we start with the bigger ball and then we work our way into the smaller ball. And we're also going to start at the wall and then eventually make our way to the floor. Now I'm going to start with the bigger ball and make sure this is what I need. If I need more, I'll go ahead and use this. And then when even that is getting pretty okay and you're needing a little bit more past this ball, then we go ahead and work our way to the floor. I would only really use the 5-inch ball on the floor. That's my best recommendation. But if you are feeling okay and feeling like this is doing the job for you on the floor, then so be it. Just always listen to your body. Make sure you're drinking enough water and make sure that you stretch after you roll, and implement this into your day whenever you think you may need it.